Very short title. Oh, I got it right. I got it right. I got it right. I will go on record as saying I have absolutely no idea why they call this measures of central tendency. But since that's what they'll use when they say it, I will use it. Well, I'm sure it's got something to do. It's got something to do with data or data or whatever you want to say. Just to make life incredibly fun here, to help us out just a little with this, I am going to go around and you're going to tell me your shoe size. You probably did this before, but just rounding up if it's a half. Round up if it's half because I don't want to deal with decimals, just because I don't feel like it. It's already been a long day. So please have the number. Why don't you write the number down so you don't have to think about it when I look at you, because I don't want you to go, So here you go. Starting with the front row. Price. M. Cameron.
8. 9.
Kate.
10.
12. Sure, I'll take this.
8.
Love it.
10.
Back row, Aubrey.
9. 9. 9.
Kate.
11.
5.
11.
Hi. 11.
9.
Who said 9? You?
8. 7.
8.
10.
12.
9.
8.
7.
Okay. Here's the deal. Measures of central tendency. Okay. Step number 1, before you even do anything with measures of central tendency, is you need to arrange from least to greatest. And I'm going to try to get this, and they all kind of need to be in a row here. I'm not 100% sure I can. I'll ask for your help here. I see just 1 5, correct? All right, and then no 6s. How many 7s? Looks like just 2 7s. Perfect. And then how many 8s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 8s. 1, oh. 6, did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 8s. How many 9s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 7, 7, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that?
There's 9 9s. There's 7 9s.
There are 9 7s or 7 9s?
7 9s.
Is that it right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No, there's 9. There's 7 9s.
Oh! That makes more sense. How about 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9,
So many notes.
9. And then how many 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4. Please tell me I'm not good at that. 3 11s and a 12. Oh, I got ways to fix this. Three 11s and a 12. 11, 11, 11, 12.
There are 2
There's
12s.
2 12s.
And another 12. Reds. It was the 12. Okay, so here's the deal with measures of central tendency. Usually they ask you 4 things when it comes to measures of central tendency. Some of them are easier than others. The first one, let's just say, is the word to the mode. The word mode simply means the number that appears the most. Okay, and you want to have it arranged in some way so you can quickly see that, because if I were to put these in order, you could take some pretty good guesses, but it would be a little more complicated here. Here you can tell, what did we say? There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 8s, 7 9s I think we came up with. So the number that appears the most is 9. Okay, one that happens the most is 9. That's just one of our easy things. And then the next one is mean. Mean is the same as average. Not 100% I'm sure I want to do that, but I could try. We could probably do this pretty quickly here. How many 8s were there? 6 8s is 48. 7 9s is 63. 4 10s is 40. 33. 24, and then I think I missed whatever that is, 14, and 5 is 19. Find all the whole sum, you know how to do it. It's at 6, 10, 18, 27, 2, 12, 19, 22. 227. And how many of you are here today?
25.
Is it really 25? Everybody's here today? So it looks like you get, what, 9, which is what, 45, 4, 18, 22. About a 9, what, you do 20, 9.0, 9.08 actually is your average. If you want to do it all out. That's your second measure of central tendency. The third one, I'm just going to write down, usually I don't do this one, is the range. Anybody know what the range is? Cameron? No, it's actually the small from the big. You don't subtract the greatest from the least, you subtract the least from the greatest. But that's okay. You know, I know what you meant. The smallest from the greatest, which means 12 minus 5. So your range is 7. There's a difference of 7 between the biggest one and the smallest one. And then the hardest one sometimes for kids to get is what's called the median. I think we talked about this last year. Median comes from the word middle. Comes from the word middle. Which number falls in the middle? Now, in order to find the middle, you have to know how many numbers were there. How many numbers are there? 25. Which means if I took you, and it didn't matter what, if I took you and lined all 25 of you up in a row, which person, what numbered person is going to be the person that's sitting directly in the middle of everybody, so there's the same number to his right and same number to her left, or whatever person it is. What is the exact middle of 25? And you want an odd number because there is an exact middle of an odd number. Which numbered person is sitting exactly in the middle, Jaden? Number 13 sits in the middle because there's 12 on one side of them and 12 on the other side of them. So I need to find number 13 in my order, and that's why you need to order them from least to greatest. Otherwise, they're not in any particular order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The median, the middle number, is 9. Which would lead you to ask, what if there were only 24 people in the class? Let's get rid of my second number 12, just for fun. Sorry, whoever you are, Mr. 12. If I got rid of this 12, and there was an even number, the middle number, the middle of this whole thing falls exactly between Mr. 12 and Mr. 13. Because there's 12 on this side and 12 on that side. If it's even, okay, you have to find the average of those middle two. Find average of middle two. So, well, this one's pretty easy because the average of 9 and 9 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18 divided by 2 is 9. So if it's an even number, you kind of hope for an odd number because then you don't have to do as much work. If it's an even one, you got to figure out what two are in the middle, and then you divide by 2. But make sure that when you do this, you order from least to greatest. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are your measures of central tendency.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just...
Yeah, but it's solving, we gotta review it, make sure downtown. You still have to understand it there.
Yeah, look in your book on 362. We'll talk about a couple problems now. Now, forging ahead with the problems of this, thank you very much. Looking at example, well, no, let's actually go for it. Actually, turn to page 364. We've done line plots before, have we not? Do I have to go through line plots again?
No.
Well, we kind of have to do it anyways. Do we have to do it? Sure. Let's do letter A. Letter A says make a line plot of that data there. If I were making a line plot of that data, what's my smallest number I'm going to need? What's the biggest number I'm going to need? Looking at the kilowatt usage there, looks like the smallest one was what, 420? And the biggest one is 590. So what are we going to go by? Tens? 430, 440, 450, 460, 470, 480, 490, 500, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 40, we could go to 600. I need some ambitious person to read me off those things so I don't have to keep looking back. What's the first one? Okay. Second one? 450, 30, 40, 50, I guess I should put 50. Yep. 480, 440, 420, 490, 80, 590, 510. Is that all? 450, 430, and 480. Looks like your line plot, looks like my line plot. I have 580. 2 580s? Just one. Look at letter C just because I know. What would you use to describe the difference between the most used and the least? Which one of those is most used and least? What measure of central tendency talks about most and least? The difference? Keith? And what would the range be? 590 minus, what is that? 170 kilowatt hours. How about letter D? Which measure would you report to someone who wants to compute the total amount of electricity used in a year? Wow. If you were given this, you're given this whole line plot. What would you use to find out how many total? This is kind of goofy in my opinion. What would you use to find the total one? If you were given the 4 measures of central tendency, the range, the mode. What is the mode, by the way? No, mode is the one that appears the most. You've got 3 modes here. You've got 420, you have 450, it's trimodal, and you've got 480. You've got the mean, which is the average. By the way, the mean is, which I said median, I'll just give it to you. The mean is 478. And what is the median? And here's how you figure, how many numbers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What's the middle of 12? Falls exactly between 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You'd have to find the average of those two. 6 is 450, 7 is 480, Anybody tell me what the average of 450 and 480 is? What falls exactly between 450 and 480? Nobody knows. 465 is the median. So here's the question that they're asking you. If you know these three or four, you know the range, you know the median, you know the mean, and you know the mode, which one of those could you use to find out how much total energy all of these used? Think about it a little bit. None of them say exactly, but one of them would be the one that you'd use to find it. I'm using a little mathematical thing here. Which one would you use to find total energy used? Because I know you want to say, why don't I just add all these up? Well, that's not using one of our measurements here. Mitch, how could you use the mean to find your total, your total?
Because we already added it.
Yeah, but so you're given this number, how are you going to tell me how much energy was used total? This is just the average between all of them. It is the mean. How do you use that though? If I gave you this number as the average, how would you tell me how much total they used? Jamie?
Multiply by the sample space.
Well, yeah, multiplied by, how many are there up here? How many numbers did we figure out?
12.
Well, if you take 478, which is the average of all of them, and multiply by 12, you are going to get whatever this adds up as a total. Sample space, nice math word. Letter D. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Letter E, if the greatest data point 590 were changed to 500, which measure of central tendency would change the most? If 590 was changed to 500, which of these would change the most? If I took this 590 and moved it way down here, which of these would change the most? First of all, which one wouldn't change at all? Well, the range would change because it's not 590. The range would change by 10. The mode wouldn't change at all because you still have the same number there. So your choice is between these two. Would the median stay the same? Yeah, because the middle number would still be over here. Which one would change the most? I think I better stop there. Anybody else?